Oakland Cemetery. Oakland Cemetery is one of the largest cemeteries in Atlanta, Georgia. Founded as Atlanta Cemetery in 1850 on 6 acres of land southeast of the city, it was renamed in 1872 to reflect the large number of oak and magnolia trees growing in the area. By that time, the city had grown and the cemetery had enlarged correspondingly to the current 48 acres. Since then, Atlanta has continued to expand so that the cemetery is now located in the center of the city. Oakland is an excellent example of a Victorian-style cemetery. The original 6 acres of Oakland remains one of the oldest historical plots of land in Atlanta, most of the rest of the city having been burned in 1864. An estimated 70,000 people have interred at Oakland. The lion, which guards a field containing the remains of unknown Confederate dead, was commissioned by the Atlanta Ladies Memorial Association and carved by T.M. Brandy in 1894 out of the largest piece of marble quarried from North Georgia up to that time. The Confederate Section of Oakland is home to an estimated 6,900 burials, of which about 3,000 are unknown. During the Civil War, Atlanta was a major transportation and medical center for the southern states, since several of the largest military hospitals in the area were within a half-mile from Oakland. Many soldiers who died from their wounds were buried here. Shortly after the war ended, a few thousand soldiers from the Atlanta campaign who were previously buried in battle graves were moved to the Confederate grounds in Oakland. The area is marked by a large monument known as the Confederate Obelisk. The 65-foot tall obelisk is made from granite quarried from local Stone Mountain and was dedicated on April 26, 1874, the anniversary of Joseph E. Johnston's surrender to William Sherman, and thus the end of the American Civil War. The Jewish section. Located relatively close to the old Jewish section, contained in the original 6 acres, the plot is designated as the new Jewish section, required by the Hebrew Benevolent Congregation in 1878 and 1892. The burial sites and the headstones and monuments marking them reflect the blending of the German Jewish culture, of which the Benevolent Congregation was primarily comprised, and the American culture that the community had adapted. In the more recent years, the new Jewish section fell victim to vandalism by 2 teenage locals in 1982. The African American section. This section of the cemetery is a testament to the period of history during which segregation was at its height in the United States. The entire cemetery reflects the great cultural changes that occurred in Atlanta during its service, from the Jim Crow era exhibited by the segregated black section to the modern area that thrives for social equality. One striking feature that the visitors will notice is that the African American section lacks a great deal of headstones, monuments, and grave markers in general. This is because many grave markers here were made of wood and other biodegradable materials. These markers have succumbed to the passing of time and as a result have rendered a large portion of the grave sites in the African American section unknown. Just one of the social difficulties that had to be overcome by African Americans living in the southern states at that time. The Bell Tower. Before the bell tower was constructed in 1899, a farmhouse owned by James E. Williams, who would later become the mayor of Atlanta, stood in the spot. From this location, General John B. Hood directed the Confederate forces in the Battle of Atlanta on July 22, 1864. The bell tower building, as it stands today, was originally the sexton's office and living quarters. Atop the tower is a bell that was formerly used to signal for workers to gather at the location and for funerals. The basement was used as a vault for storing coffins awaiting burial. In 1998, the bell tower building saw extensive restoration and now serves as the offices for the historic Oakland Foundation, as well as the cemetery's visitor center. Thank you guys for watching my movie about the Oakland Cemetery in Atlanta, Georgia. As always, please like, comment, subscribe below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Have a wonderful day.